Hello, my friends. This is RZ, and today I'm going to go over the new trade system in Blitz. Now, the old trade system, which is currently in Dunk, is different than the new one in Blitz. So, in Dunk, it's an open trade system, which means you just put a card or up to four cards up, and then people can make offers on it. So, you could go through the open trade platform and see usually hundreds of cards, and you can make an offer. Good part is you could just kind of browse cards that way. The bad part is whenever I would put up cards, especially numbered cards, I would get really, really bad offers. And if I put up 20 cards, I would maybe make one or two trades out of every 20 I'd put up. So I never did it because it just was a big waste of time. With Trade Match, which is the new system in Blitz, you can actually go after specific cards. So it's really good if you're trying to go after specific cards. This has two advantages. The first one is in if you're trying to complete collections and you've got one or two cards left, you can actually go after the cards, find the people that own the card or have the card, and make an offer to get the trade, which really works well. This is especially good for older sets because most people are always trying to complete collections of the most current release sets, like in Dunk, Mosaic, or in Blitz. So people are trying to do flawless and encased and immaculate cards. So if you're really going after something that's older, then this trade match system is easier. The second thing, which is what I tend to use this for more often, is that when you open packs and you get some good cards, some good numbered cards, you're going to end up with players that you don't want. So you can trade them for players you do want, and that's what I'm going to show you today. So now, in this account, I'm sitting here in the collections. I'm in this tab. It's running slow, so hopefully I don't run into too many delays. This app's been slow lately. And I'm in collections, and I'm looking at all cards. So I'm going to filter these cards by collection because I just happened to look at all these and realized I'm going to use multiplier. I've got a lot of encased cards. So here's the collections sorted by power ranking for just the encased cards. Now I can go after some of these. These are really low number cards, but it takes a lot. Takes a lot longer. It's a lot harder to find people that have low number cards. I do it, but for this example, I'm going to go down here and try to find some cards that are different. Now, these cards here are numbered to 100. Still a fairly low number, but not as low as the 3s and 5s. They're all autograph cards, so a little bit different, but they're all encased, and they're cards I have, and I'd like to trade them for a different player. So I know I've got these cards. So starting out with your collection and knowing what you have and what you want to trade really helps. I know what I've got. These are some of the cards I want to try to get rid of. So let's go to the trade match and see what we can do. So you go into trade. It's going to pop up this thing and go to trade match. Now, I know I've got these encased 100s, so the easiest thing to do when you're trying to make a trade is go after either similar cards in the exact collection, same collection, like encased, or at least close. Encased and immaculates can be close. You can usually trade an encased for prisms. If you're going to try to trade flawless, you want to kind of stick with flawless, national treasures. If you're gonna trade Don Russ, stick with Don Russ, and maybe like prisms or absolutes or something that's kind of on the lower end. If you tried to trade like a 1-of-100 Don Russ for a 1-of-100 flawless, a lot of people aren't gonna trade it. They'd rather have the flawless. So just keep that in mind. But in this case, if I can do it, I try to stick with the collection, and I'm sure I'm going to be able to find a card. So let's go into Encased. And then I usually, unless I know specifically what card I want, I usually just select all the subsets and see what pops up. Okay, and this is going to show you all the different cards in a collection, which is going to be a lot. But I know I have two rookies, Devin Singletary and Mecole Hardman. So I'm a Bears fan. I'm going to look for a David Montgomery card. Okay, and I know just from looking at this that these cards are all really high numbers. They've got autos and patches on them and shields. So I'm going to keep going down here, and here we go. These cards here, that's a 1 of 10. And here's a 1 of 100. It's got the same green signature. It's a rookie notable. So I think I can trade this card for one of the other, the Singletary or Hardman card, right? So once I identify a card, I select it and I go to the next screen. Now, here's where I think this system's a little bit reverse. I wish it generally, the next screen is going to show us who has the card. But since I don't know that, I'm going to just click a random card so I can get to the next screen. So now I can see that I've got a Cardinals fan, Patriots, Chargers, Chiefs, Bears. The Bears fan's not going to give me a Montgomery card. I know this guy well. We're both Bears fans, so we pretty much are always bidding on the same cards. But I do have this Chiefs fan, so I know I've got a Chiefs fan that has a David Montgomery card. Hopefully he's not a David Montgomery fan. So I'm going to filter this out. I'm going to go to these encased. Where was it? I'm going to go and I'm going to find that Mecole Hardman card I've got. I'm going to have to sort by power ranking. And let's see. And there it is. It's the same green. It's a signature only. Both are rookies. Both are, Hardman was a pretty good rookie. Montgomery was a pretty good rookie. It's a fair offer. It's a pretty fair offer. I don't know whether they'll take it, but it seems pretty reasonable. Most of the time, if I trade rookies for rookies, or you're going to trade good, you can usually trade a McCaffrey for, to a Dallas fan for an Ezekiel Elliott. You can often trade maybe a Watson for a Kyler Murray. Try to pick some players or similar types of players at a similar level if you want the trade to go through. Okay, so I'm going to pick this Chiefs fan and hope that they like Montgomery. And now, if you look in my activity and trade, this trade's in there, and I can just watch it and see. If I wanted to send a message, sometimes I'll say, hey, counter with another card, or if you have a Riley Ridley card, I'd take that too, or whatever you want to say. So this is exactly how how I use this to try to trade, numbered cards that I have in my collection, but I would rather have another player. Now, so people ask about whether there's an open trade, and there actually is. You can go into this trade match, and it's a little bit wonky, and that's why I don't think you see many people do it. But I can just go into trade match, and Flawless always has a lot of low number cards. I'm just going to select all of these. And so there's a lot of these low number cards up here, and I usually just select them. I have them one written down. I can't remember what it is. I usually just select a card, and then I go to the next screen, and I'm just going to put any card in here. Okay, so there's people that have that card. So I'm gonna back up and try another card. Okay, these are fives. I think this card might work. And so what I'm doing is I'm trying to find a card that's not available. There it is. Okay. So what this means is that Josh Jacobs card I was trying to make a trade for is not available. It probably has not been pulled from that pack yet. So now if the card is not available, it allows you to go to the trade pool. So now I can go like this, and what I'm saying is, hey, I'll give up this junk card, and I want this, which no one would ever do, but I'll put it in here anyway. So now I'm showing my trade. This is the trade match I sent for Hardman, and this is the open trade. If you go up here to where it says trade, you can see open trades. And as you can see, there's only two of us. Lobo's got a trade in here and me. Not that many people use it, but it's there if you want it. I think they need to put something in about making open trades so people would do it. This is just a perfect case. They're looking for specific cards, and then you could just place a bid on the card if you want it. So that is the way to quote unquote do open trades. But as you can see, nobody's using it, so it's just not really a good system for open trades. I think I'd like to see them do something a little bit different. But if if you if you spend some time learning about what cards you have that you want to trade, so you know what the ammo is, and you generally stick with the same number. Trade 5 of 5s for 5 of 5s, 3 of 3s for 3 of 3s, or 1 of 3s. Trade 100s for 100s. You're gonna trade non-number cards for other non-number cards. Try to trade cards of an account. You know what they're the team they're gonna fan of, so try to trade them players on that team that you don't want. And I've made hundreds of, not hundreds. I think I've made over 100, but not quite 200 trades in the last month, which is more than I made all of last year. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of idea of how to use this trade match system. Once you start doing this, I think you'll find that you'll be able to trade a lot, make a lot of really, really good, smart trades. Because people are generally going to trade. A lot of times they'll even trade, you know, bad players from their team for decent players that you might want. So, I try not to offer really bad trades, and a lot of times if I really want the card, I trade more than what I should because I really want the card, and I'm usually trading players I don't want, but that's going to allow you to get a lot more trades done too. So anyway, that's it. Hopefully that helps and gives you an idea, because at first when people get into this trade system, it's confusing, and I don't like the way they put cards I want and cards I give. That can be a little bit confusing, so it takes some time before you kind of understand what's being offered to you. But hopefully as you do it, I think you'll find that you'll be able to make a lot more trades. All right, that's it. Take care. Happy collecting.